Back at it, 207.
207.
Now tell me about this little interaction you had at work.
The problem is, like, I got complained about, which is not out of the normal.
That's crazy. You?
Because I get complained about at every job. Because I'm not, like, if you're out front, you're bored, and you're just talking, and you don't think anybody's listening. It's kind of like you feel like you're in your house just...
Well, I can't imagine you also get that many complaints with your new job, and you're not drinking.
I mean, that's the thing, too, is like, now I'm not drinking, so now I have to remember everything I say, which is bullshit. And then I have to be out front, like, just putting on this facade. And, like, some people like it, some people don't. It's whatever, but I treat everybody the same. But I guess when you're just, like, talking to, like, a coworker or bullshitting, you don't think that anybody's listening to you. So I went...
You're just a muttering asshole in front of this
dude,
place.
I am. I'm just like...
You're like, you're lucky these motherfuckers don't hear me.
These goddamn loud-ass pieces of shit. But I'm like, go in, and they're like, hey... And then it was one of those things where somebody said I had said something where it was close enough to what I would say, but it was... Like, I kept ragging my brain, like, I don't think I said that. But apparently I was out front talking about drag queens, which I don't...
Yourself.
I might have been just like fucking drag queens with big hair.
That rules.
But I apparently said
Fucking big hair.
Fucking beehives.
Where do you get
Idiot.
your balls?
So I apparently was coming up with drag queen names. Like I was just joking around, and one of the names was Slops Queefenstien.
I still don't.
Which I know I didn't say.
The funniest thing is like, that's not even like an ironic name.
No.
Like, usually drag queens have some name pertaining to who they're
something good
trying to be, but you just Slops Queefenstien. You're like, that's pretty good.
I was like, think about it. She got bolts in her neck. Yeah, she's just a messy vagina on stage. Slops Queefenstien.
Yeah, so your manager had to be like...
So he was just like, he was looking
he
at...
like dropped the glasses. He's like, says here...
He was like, somebody just said that you were out front talking about drag queens. I'm like, all right, yeah, maybe I did. They're like, yeah, and then one of the names you said was Slops.
So the complaint was from a customer coming in?
But the funny thing is, I know that this person just like made up what they thought they heard.
We should get in touch with her. That's
dude,
fucking...
Slops Queefenstien.
She just made that up? That's a real hero.
But that's what I wonder was like, how derivative was it from what I had said? Because I was like, I don't like Queefenstien is amazing. Like that's a great like either that doesn't matter if you're a drag queen or not. Queefenstien is an amazing name, but to add Slops,
yeah, like dude. Dude, that's insane.
Slops Queefenstien.
That this person went to, she's like, I'd like to see a manager.
Excuse me.
She had to have been let in. Like, you had to check her ID.
No, but that's the funny thing is, too, this wasn't like, it wasn't a complaint at the moment. It was like, because this was like apparently a week out. Like, it happened a week prior. So, like,
and they just didn't talk to you.
So they didn't say anything to me. And then I was like, how do you even expect me to remember that? Like, I don't, like, when I'm out front, I'm just trying to get through the fucking shift. I don't remember fucking jack shit I'm talking about or saying or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I go in and a week later, it's like, so, who's Slops Queefenstien? And I'm like, somebody I'm working on the weekends, I don't know.
That'd be funny if that was like a world-renowned drag queen. You're like, you don't know fucking SQ, dude. Man.
Sloppy Queefy. But it's amazing to be like in a position where someone's like, who you got on the drag show? It's like, well, you get ready to get fucking messy as hell.
Guess who's back?
Just when you thought it was safe to eat your eggs Benedict, here comes Slops Queefenstien.
Dude, I just got like an image of just like way too like caked on makeup.
Oh, dude, and you know Slops is pushing 440
easily.
Is a huge drag queen.
Dude, I bet you she comes out like Big Dick Dudley, dude. But if she just came out dressed like one of the Dudley boys. It's like, you want to see some of this?
Not trying at all to be.
Not at all.
Just stringy wet hair and a glass is like, who the fuck's eating breakfast? Who's ready for your mood over my hammy? It slops Queefenstien.
I've always said this. I've always thought like drag brunches, and nothing against their performers, but it's always been off-putting to me.
Dude,
I
want
eggs Benedict
nothing to do with it.
and some drag queen dressed like Cher is just like, hey, I'm like, get away from me.
There's nothing I want. Like when I'm eating breakfast, I'm trying to like get over the night before. I do not need a man's ass in my face.
You definitely don't need a person named Slops
Queefenstien coming over, shimming their weird fake tits in your face as you're trying to eat hash browns. Impossible. Like,
you like mimosas?
You like mimosas?
Check these balls. It's like, what? How did you get there?
I'm the only drag queen with a 4-foot erection. Slops Queefenstien.
Just 3D, some 60-year-old woman through a table, through the fucking omelet bar.
Breaking eggs with his dick. Dude. Just lining them up. It's like, who invited Slops? It's like, you can't get away from Slops.
Oh my God, dude.
It's a fucking
wild.
universal monster of drag queens. I did not think. But that was the thing, too. And then I went home and I'm like thinking, like, what the fuck could I have said that someone was just like, he Slops Queefenstien? Like, that just
That's
sounds...
also shout out to your manager for not dying laughing.
I mean, he just said it very
Like,
quickly.
I wouldn't,
and it was almost
if
like,
you had to say that to an employee,
dude, it was
I'm
almost like
like,
one of those things where
close the door.
it was like, I guess, because I've been hired there so many times that they're just like, yeah, you know, he just says some stuff sometimes. And
Also, why is that? I mean, I guess it's just off-putting that you're checking IDs and you're like, Slops Queefenstien, that's good. Have a good night. It's like you're just audibly saying these random fucking drag names, which I do agree with you. Like, I've seen you do that job. You're literally just standing there all night. So I get it. But you have been so far removed from reality at this point that you're just announcing weird drag names while people are coming in.
That's the worst part, too, is like when he said that, I'm like standing there. I went home like, do I? It was like that scene in like Fight Club. Like, how long have I been doing this out loud? It's like, have I been Tyler Durden this whole time?
I bet you Queefenstien looks like fucking Meatloaf. He looks like Bob.
Huge titties.
Dude, I bet
Oh my God. You know who's a Slops Queefenstien? That fucking, that fucking.
Do you know who's a Slops? I know a couple, dude.
That fucking, that woodshop teacher from that school who's got the big fake titties. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The what?
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
The woodshop, at which I don't know if she is trying. Like, this is where, when you see something like that, you don't know if this person is trying to like actually live their truth, or it's one of those dudes who's just like, yeah, you think fucking, you know, drag queens are fine. You know what? Then we'll have anything in school. I'm just gonna come to school with big fake titties,
and
a wig, and I'm gonna
build
teach y'all.
birdhouses.
Get the glue over there. It's like, I have glue guns in my boobs.
Dude.
But like, that is like where people start drawing the line. They're like, well, clear. Like, it's definitely an attention spot, but it's like one of those things too. It's like, if you were gonna be, you know, trans, jumping the shark like that, you gotta give it to him. I would be like, yeah, did you see Miss Wahlberg in fucking shop class? She's got
Miss Wahlberg.
She's got huge icebergs on her chest.
Dude. Miss Wahlberg. I bet you Mark's mom.
Dude.
I seen her on that show. She's a bit slops, please.
She's got a big funky bunch in her fucking pants.
Speaking of Boston, we were just up there.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. Yeah, shout out to Boston and Laugh Boston. And it was cool. I met the Be a Man dudes.
Oh,
you know them guys? Be a Man, dude. They're fans of Shane, and they came back in the green room, dude. They're funny as shit. They're actually going to come down here.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're doing a show at City Winery on November 10th. I've been sharing the stories. I'm going to do a spot on it, and I think either O'Connor or McCusker. Also, did I show you? Did I show you guys Cat O'Connor?
No.
Holy shit,
Cat
dude.
O'Connor?
Somebody either sent it to Shane or something. Look at this cat and tell me that's not Chris O'Connor to the fucking T.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Oh, I've seen that cat before.
That is just in what world?
In what pearl, more like it.
That's the face of hearing Slops McQueefenstien or whatever the fuck.
Slops McQueefenstien.
But,
She's a leprechaun. It's McQueefenstien.
But those guys will be down here November 10th at City Winers.
Hell yeah.
There, buy a ticket. And then also the Patriots punter. Jake Bailey was there.
I don't know.
He
who
came
that
in the
is.
green room with his boys. Yeah, he's the punter for the Patriots.
Is he the guy who kicked the dude in the ass with the ball that everyone's talking about?
No.
Was that
No.
college or was that regular football?
I didn't see what you're talking about.
So there was a dude who tried to do a punt from the end zone and then kicked the ball directly into one of the linemen's ass
That's great.
and like fumbled the ball. It was like a huge debacle. It was like one of those things where it's like you don't really know who's in the wrong, whether it was the kicker or the guy in front
It's
of him.
the kicker.
But like it fucked up the whole play.
Oh, that's great.
They got a safety, I think, or whatever the fucking thing
That's
is.
a real slops.
Dude,
We really slops that up.
you got Queefenstien.
But he was really cool. He was a big fan of Shane's, but I was bullshitting with him, and I gave him a fucking. It was the only awkward. I think I told Danny, but the only awkward point of the conversation was talking to him because we were supposed to go to the game on Sunday up there. They were playing the Ravens, and he was like, "Yeah, dude. I mean, we've been looking great. I think the Ravens are gonna have a little bit of trouble tomorrow." I was like, "Yeah, totally." Dude. I mean, the Ravens beat the shit out of him, but fucking. He was a nice dude.
Yeah. You got to be nice. Like, that's the whole thing, too, is like if sports athletes are coming in and they're talking about like what they're going to do on the field or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we're going to beat their asses.
You know
It's
what's
like,
crazy? That whole time he was sitting in the green room. They were hanging out for a minute, and the whole time I kept thinking, like, dude, this is how I think this is how they fixed the World Series, like just hanging out in a room, and then somebody was like,
Yeah, dude.
we're all here. It's like, why do you Queefenstein a punt?
So here's the thing.
I'm taking the points.
I have a lot of money riding on
It's like I take the lowest tier position on a football. I'm like, we're gonna win a lot of money this year, punter. It's like it's not even a fucking any like notable offense or defensive guy. I'm like, I got the punter in the pocket. They're like, so I'm like, just letting you know.
Just letting you know, watch out.
Yeah.
If you think this is going to go well for you, it's not how it
wish
goes.
dude,
but
I
that's
was dying laughing.
That's also funny because in history there was some guy going to Mickey Mantle like, yo, Mick, here's the thing. So how about you strike out third inning?
Yeah.
We're all rich tomorrow.
Yeah,
And he's
they
like,
did that.
Yeah, but Mickey Mantle's like, who are you?
Yeah, he was probably drunk.
It was just a janitor like, Mick, yo, Manny, baby. So here's the thing. I've been cleaning up puke here for, I don't know, 7 years. I'm a real slops.
You see my wife, a real McQueefenstein.
Anyway, I'm trying to get out of this marriage. You got to fucking help me right now, Mick. I'm about to kill myself. I swear to God.
Dude, speaking of killing, you see Dahmer's glasses? His prison-issued glasses are up for auction or up for sale at $150,000.
Yeah, and it's also apparently so is his flatware from his apartment in Milwaukee.
That I would
Which
see, but
is-
his prison that was like issued to him in jail.
They weren't his. He didn't choose that.
I'm not paying $150,000 to
No.
look like wood. You know
No.
what I mean? Like, what the fuck. And also, it's like, dude, I could buy those at CVS.
Yeah, you
today
could
and be like,
easily
I got
get
'em.
those. It's not a hard fucking
Yeah.
But I guess people are like, yo, I want to smell Dahmer's nose on these glasses. It's like, what are you doing?
I'm like, I guess they don't work that well because you would have seen that guy coming with the fucking pipe. Did you finish Dahmer?
No, I did not finish. That the whole thing too is like, I didn't watch. I think I watched the first 3 episodes of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, it's good, but it's also like, I know all this shit. It's like just like
Yeah.
I get it, man.
I didn't know like how like I don't know. There were certain details of like his dates, and the one with the deaf kid killed me. I was like,
Oh yeah.
God.
Well,
dude.
the funny thing is, when I watched it, I started being like, it's almost like someone watched the movie Dahmer with Jeremy Renner in it and was like, let's make it a
Yeah.
little bit more gritty.
Right.
A little bit. It's like, it's the same shit. It's very, and again, with all the serial killer stuff, it's just being shoved in my face all the time. It's like getting old. I don't care now. And it's like now you don't really know what the fuck is gonna. When are you guys gonna run out of like the Dahmer, the Bundy, and the Gacy shit?
Yeah.
And like you're left with Ramirez, maybe.
Yeah, Ramirez, dude. Get Ricky out there, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Ricky don't lose that.
Like
number.
I wonder who's gonna not the number to your fucking lock on your door. He'll fucking get in there, and he'll come on your floor,
dude. But it was. I thought it was hilarious though with this series, and it hit so big, and. Shane called it, but he was like the next day was wild because we were in Boston. Shane goes, I can't believe no one's talked to Joe Perry yet. And the next day there was an interview with Joe Perry, the comedian. Oh. He looks and sounds like it's this kid who played him who is he's from like X-Men.
Yeah, he's the Quicksilver guy.
Yeah, but he also, dude, if you look up anything Joe Perry's ever done,
man,
you're going to be like, that's who he looked at to play this fucking part. It's insane. And it's really just, I mean, he definitely looks like him with the glasses and the hair, but it's also, his voice is really like, it's exact
When you said
same.
Joe Perry, I thought you meant Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
That would have ruled. I don't think I've ever heard him.
That's what I thought.
I think I've only heard Joe Perry talk in Wayne's World. It's like the only time I've ever. I didn't know he
doesn't talk a lot.
Nah, dude.
He's got Steven. He's got the mouth talking for him, dude.
That's Queen slops,
dude. That's what Slops Queefenstien looks like.
Jesus,
is Steven Tyler now?
Boss, dude.
Could you imagine Fat Tyler? If Steven Tyler got fat like Axel, that would have been the fucking coolest goddamn thing in the world.
Yeah, that dude. God damn it, that would have rolled.
Morbidly obese Tyler.
The other docuseries I was watching, I didn't even. I think I finished it or I got close. Was the they did that Bling Ring?
Oh, the real Bling Ring. No, I didn't watch that either. But I saw the movie, which was like whatever.
Which is wildly inaccurate.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard because they had to specify. I was like, this.
It is funny
really
to watch
happened.
these girls. The one girl who Emma, what's her name? What's her name?
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson plays, and they make her like the head of the ring, which was not the thing at all. It was the kid. The one boy.
Oh, wait, Emma Stone. Sorry.
No.
Was it Emma Watson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From Harry Potter.
Hermione's, yeah.
Yeah, it was her.
Yo.
So anyway, fucking, it was funny to watch it because they were like, we just got addicted to the lifestyle. I was like, well, you're just robbing people.
Yeah, that's it.
You were just going in and robbing people, and that's hilarious.
That's pretty good to get addicted to it.
But it's so funny, too, because, like, they show it's like dudes like you know that guy Perez Hilton?
Yeah. Whatever
Also,
happened to that guy?
I don't know, dude, but he is fucking ugly as sin, dude. He looks like the third stage of like evolution. Fucking anal-lution. He's like halfway up.
Anal-lution?
Yeah, dude. He's got a forehead there.
That's a good drag name too. Anal-lution. Slops Queefenstien and Anal-lution taking over this.
That's a double brunch.
Dude, you better watch it.
But they're talking about, like, at the time when they were doing this, which was, like, whatever, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Or whenever, like, Paris Hilton was out there getting it. And it was just funny because they were just like, here's how we did it. I'm like, you climbed the fence and went into a millionaire's house that was never there. Don't act like this is fucking Mission Impossible.
Yeah, breaking and entering is not like a fucking amazing crime.
Dude, but it's so funny. The girl in it and her mom's this fucking retard who used to be like, you know, a party girl. And now she's like, all right, guys, let's all hang out. And they pitched like a reality show to E! Which I think it did get picked up for like 2 or 3 episodes. And like the first episode they're filming is the LAPD showing up with a fucking search warrant. And they're like, must be the crew. They're like, get on the fucking ground. I was like, damn
That's
it.
awesome.
And then the craziest thing is they're like, yeah, and like, you know, and we were all hanging out. And that was the first time I did Oxy. I was like, here we go. Like,
roll the fucking dice.
How did you go from stealing purses out of fucking Lindsay Lohan's houses to just fucking teeing off behind some club?
That's the natural progression, dude.
It's so funny.
When that's the thing too, is like
fucking
So wait,
loser.
was the mom just like, yeah, like I want all the kids to hang out at my house?
She
'cause
was
it's
that
just
mom.
like, yeah.
Yeah, she was still trying to be cool.
I wonder how many moms like that are now. Like there's because now it's like harder with the internet and like everyone's just doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Well, yeah, kids today don't really need the cool parents.
No, they don't.
You know, there was, you know, we were going to school. It's like, yeah, dude.
You needed a cool parent.
You knew who had the cool parents.
Yes, you did.
And that was cool. And that, now you look back, it's like, God, wildly irresponsible.
Wow, I might have been molested.
Wildly. My buddy Justin's parents should be locked the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they ran a fucking business out of their house. No joke. We got caught smoking weed by a state cop leaving there because we were smoking weed maybe 10 feet from the entrance. They just big giant farmhouse.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are just smoking weed out front. Why
no
didn't you
wind. Nothing. Just
a
clouds.
huge cloud?
Yeah, and I'm like, we're never gonna get caught.
Yeah, there was a couple times I went over to someone's house and their dad was like, "Just don't use my bong." It's like,
Yeah, it was your dad's.
yeah, but it was
Went over
just-
a couple people's houses.
He's like, "Look, don't use my bong. It's also my leg. Do not use it."
I forget his name. It was like Dad or something.
It's like Tomos. I don't remember his name.
There was we only had, like, I knew there was a few parents that smoked weed, but open, like, trying to smoke with us.
That
my
is
buddy,
so
My buddy
weird.
Chris and Mike's dad, these two brothers I knew, their dad was so fucking funny, dude. He would be, like, we'd be out front, like, just on, like, their front steps, like, you know, on the stoop, and they had that intercom thing. Dude, and keep in mind, these are all row homes, so everyone can hear it. Dude, you would just hear him click on, just be like, fill the bowl. Dude, that's all you would hear. Be like, fill the bowl. I'd be like, all right. And dude, he would be up, like, because they had him in each room.
Yeah.
His room was the windows that looked out front. You know what I mean? Of
course.
Then he'd be like, you'd see him like, it's like peeping out. It's like 50-year-old dude, just fill the bowl. Like, all right, dude.
Dude, there was one time, and like, you know, the funny thing is, every time you like party with parents,
Yeah.
every now and again they get too fucked up, and then they like fall or something.
I thought you were gonna say they start telling you stuff. I'm like, whoa, that's how you feel? Like, you know, you motherfuckers. It's like, what the fuck?
The thing is, I should have had an abortion with Jake.
It's like, honestly, I don't know who the father is. You can tell me.
You know, when I was younger, I used to get dumped in a lot. It's like, wow.
I was a real dump queen back then. I'm not talking about the pooper.
I'm talking about getting filled.
I'm not talking about exiting. You know what
I
mean?
was filled to the brim when I was pregnant with Jake. Ew.
Oh my god.
But my one buddy, her mom, we were like smoking at her place, and she was like fucking wait. I mean, like she smoked with us in the basement, and we could tell she was like so high because like we were smoking. Like they would constantly, every time I smoked weed with a parent, they would constantly talk about the weed they smoked in like the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would talk about the weed we had now, which was like fucking, I don't even know what, but they're like, it's so much more powerful than it was in the 70s. And you could see how baked they were. And like, I remember she went upstairs, like stumbled up the stairs, and we're like, man, your mom's fucked up. She's like, I know. I've never seen her this baked. And then all of a sudden, we hear all this shit crash in the kitchen. Like, I mean, fall all over the place. And that, like, you know when you hear a pan, like, hit, and it's like, wah, 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 wah. Fucking that we go up. She had fallen face first into a cake she was baking on the floor. And she had cake on the side of her face.
What was it, like sitting on the counter or something?
No, she was like, I guess like
pulling it out of the oven?
baking it, and then like, or she had done it earlier, and she was putting icing on it, but like leaning on the table. Because it was one of those tables that like can collapse and break apart to make a bigger table. But I guess she was leaning with all of her weight on it, and fell through the table and fell with her face in the cake, and she looked like Miss Doubtfire, only with poop on her face.
Like,
she was like, "Hi."
Dude, did you hear anything after the crash?
No, that was where we were concerned because we heard all that stuff, and she was like, "Mom,
Dude,
Mom."
If someone were to put out an album to get legitimate recordings, it would be the funniest comedy album of all time. And this is a crazy thing, but think about this. I've thought about this before. If somebody made an album of just, you hear these fucking big crashes, and it's got to be dumb adult, like old people. 2-3 second pause, and then just like, oh no. Like, that's the whole track. I would be like, comedy is over, dude. it would be the funniest fucking album ever. Because those old people say the funniest shit. Dude, I remember I wasn't there. It was my one buddy, and his grandma was staying with him. She was from Ireland, and she was staying with him for a couple months. And dude, she fell up the steps.
Yes.
Like they had wooden steps going up.
Yeah.
It was a row home, and she got like halfway up, fell up, and then it was like, ah, and then it was like, doo, 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 came back down. She goes, I fell back down. Dude, I was like, what'd you do? He's like, nothing. She just got up and went and took a nap. But like she fell and we were like, oh shit. She was like, ah. And then it was like 2-3 seconds and it was like, I fell back down. Dude, God damn it.
I have a similar thing. Tom once. We were over.
Oh, dude. Tom must have been falling all over the place.
We were over at my dad's house and we were sitting in his shitty living room. And my dad was like, he was just getting up and talking because we were about to go somewhere. And then he goes in his bedroom and you just hear a bunch of shit fall and then a bunch of glass break. And then you hear him go, found my smokes.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Dude, as soon as you started saying it, I started laughing. I was like, I know exactly what you mean,
that's
dude.
exactly what I mean.
Hearing all this shit and then they're shattered. And I'm like, yep, got them goddamn Reds. There they are.
That's what I mean. Like, that's actually a better example than I fell back down because the pause and then just saying something like, we're not going to address just the huge loud noise you made. He's like, nah, I got smokes.
Yeah, dude.
Mission accomplished.
Ignition. Here we go.
How did he fall?
I don't know.
His leg
dude,
wasn't
that's
tied
another
up.
thing, too, is like, I remember the one time he answered oh, my God.
Yes.
I showed up to get money from him because he had said that he was going to like pay for books for like college. And I was like, they're like,
he's like, that doesn't sound like me at all.
like, they're like $30 or $40 each. You know that. He's like, well, I can give you fucking 200. I can give you $200 and you can use it. I'm like, awesome.
He's like, that gets you involved. Now you need to find
So
8
here's
more
the
people.
The money trickles down, Rye.
Yeah, good.
So anyway, I got a friend, my friend Nicole, to drive me to his place. So I get out and she's like walking with him. Like, you don't need to come up to the door.
Please don't get out. Just keep
She's
the doors
like,
locked.
She's like, why? I was like, whatever. And then she did. And like, I didn't have a cell phone. My dad didn't have a cell phone. I don't even think my dad had a landline at this point.
Yeah. He
So
don't need that shit.
I knocked on the door and like, it could have been anybody. Keep in mind, it could have been any person. And my dad answers the door in his underwear with like a cut off, like just ripped t-shirt and no like prosthetic leg on. So he's like sideways kind of. And he's just like opens the door full. He's like,
It's like leaning in the door.
dude, he was there was like, oh man, Ryan, you didn't tell me there's gonna be a fucking lady here. He's like, hello, miss. How are
Yo,
you? Dude,
he saw that
starts
lady coming.
trying to be like turning on the schmooze. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, hold on.
Got to bring out the good crop.
He's
top
like,
for
hold
that.
on. He's like, can I offer the lady a drink? I'm like, no.
He's like, I'm having something.
I was like, first off, it is 9:30 in the morning. I am.
What are
parched.
we drinking?
Where's the mimosas?
He tries to cross his leg. It's just like a stump. He's like, anyway, hon, where are you from?
So here's the thing. I just broke a bunch of shit in my room. You want some cigarettes? I found them. I don't know if you're into that.
Don't worry. The stump matches the drapes.
Look, girl, only my foot's amputated. My dick still work, kinda. I don't know,
Dude, that's sick. Crop top.
dude. It was just like, or it was like just a ripped
yeah.
shirt, and it
Sure.
was like, what?
Tidy whites.
Like you woke up and was like, time to face the day. It's like, what are you doing, dude? I have no idea. But that was like, he closed the door. There was another time he closed the door and he's like, I was like, Dad, I'm here for. You said you were gonna give me like.
Yeah, you could have left this in the mailbox. Dude.
I was like, you could have done anything. He's like, oh yeah, oh my God, I'm sorry. He apologized, and he closed the door like a crack, and then you just hear like all this shit flying around the living room, clearly looking for the money or envelope or anything. And you're just like, he's like, oh, come on now, that's not it. He's like, God damn it. And like, I swear to God, I heard a train. And then like he just like
Found the line out.
he's like
It's like, all right.
He comes out wearing a photon helmet from Big. He's like, hey, he's still
Comes out with just 10 Hess trucks. He's like, $200.
Right, I know what you're thinking.
It's not even Hess.
He's like, they're Hoss. Christmas this year, the Hoss truck's here. It's not real, but you can lie very well.
Did he have the money?
He did.
Oh, nice.
Which was
all ones.
It was mostly ones. It was mostly ones. But I remember like getting. I was like, "Thank you." He's like, "Oh no, I love you, man." He's like, I don't worry about it."
Also, even. Yeah.
He's like,
wow, couple bucks short.
He's like, "Also, tell your mom this is part of it. I will not be back for the rest of it."
I sold my leg.
I always wondered why my dad did not go for a peg leg. I never understood why he wouldn't do that. He constantly.
Didn't you ask him?
I did ask him a few times, like, why don't you just
What,
get
he
a
just brush
peg?
it off?
He was just like, nah, I'm not getting a fucking peg leg. I got bowl. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You need a fucking regular foot to get up to the line there. You can't hobble.
I mean, yeah, I'll tell you this: you go to the front of the line at the VFW, you come in with a peg.
I mean, I have seen him bowl from the couch.
What do you mean?
Like where you're sitting, where the fucking thing is to do the like score. He was sitting from the couch and he threw.
From the seat.
From the seat.
That's actually pretty skillful, dude.
He was just like, I'm not fucking.
I got trouble when I'm like just throwing.
No, dude, he was actually pretty good. He's pretty good at bowling. But like that was like one of those things where you see him just leaning back in the chair. He's like, I guess I'll fucking. Is it my turn already?
Damn.
You kids doing.
He probably watches Munson and be like, that could have been me, or I could have been champion.
Man, my dad had multiple dreams of sports athleticism,
Really?
but like just never could do it. My dad was obsessed with like football. Like he thought he could have been like a running back. He's like, man,
see, he should be doing though. You lose a leg, like here's the thing. I would have been the greatest athlete of all. No one can tell you
that's
no.
The thing too is that I know he never like did that thing where like, you know, a lot of people are like, if it wasn't for this, I would have been the best in the world.
Yeah.
He was more like he was trying to like, they just wouldn't let me play.
What was he, black kid in the 60s?
You know what I'm saying? Like he never said like if it wasn't for this, like, yeah, I tried it. I showed up. They were like, Tom, get out of here.
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt somebody with that foot.
It's a reverse. Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me play.
He's like, I can't.
Governor Wallace is like, get out. I'm like, what?
I tried to start the African Handicap League. They said no. They're like, Tom, you're not black. I was
How dare you?
I was like, well, first off, how dare you disrespect my indivisibles, Charlie? What is this, communist?
What's that about?
What's that about?
God damn, dude.
It was funny because he would constantly talk about like also things that I know, one, he'd be bad at, and two, he would die immediately if he did. Skiing, he would constantly, there are times
he should have skied. Why isn't he? Man.
Dude, there are times I would show up, there would be skis at the house. And I'd be like, where are you going with these skis?
He's like, K2. Really? It's just like the practice slope at Jack Frost. He's like, I got to tackle my fears, right? Like, what's that, driving to the post?
Like, the bunny slopes are over, right?
He's all top. It's just a flat. He's like, we meet again. He's like, let's go. He just puts down work glasses like fucking machine shop glasses.
It's a welding mask. He's like, time to go.
Yeah, your dad was a jeans in the snow kind of guy.
Oh, without a doubt. But he also thought he was like Blaine from fucking Better Off Dead. He thought he was like the king of the mountain. He was just like so confident. Which I also.
Meanwhile, he's like booger, just snorting it. He's like, you know the street value of this stuff? This is pure snow.
He's like, here we go. First off, I'm gonna wreck this mountain, and then I'm gonna go back to the lodge and wreck. Didn't
mountain. Blaine go one ski?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. My dad was very.
He's so funny. We got inspired by Better Off Dead. Just like,
standing in his living room with two skis, like, I will be there tomorrow, Blaine. Like, Dad, it's August.
Time to drop the crutch. Just drops one ski and puts the other one on. Dude, that's kind of crazy. He didn't do that. What, man?
He was again. We never went.
Did he ever try to do like the? Did they have like Special Olympics or like the Paraplegic Olympics? Isn't that a thing?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. But no, he never tried to do any of that.
He overslept. He failed the drug test.
Every drug test.
They're like, dude, you tested positive for everything.
He's like, first off, horse pills are fine. I'm going to wipe out
Dude, he
China.
should have just jacked his one leg up. Dude.
Dude, just to the side. He's got his little baby calf. He's like, you better watch your shit.
Yeah, dude, he could have became like a fucking sweet karate.
That would have been crazy if he just had more motivation and didn't love cocaine and other drugs. He just had no problem with
he could have been. The guy on the Eagles only had
Let's put it this way.
1 foot or something was going on back in the 70s or 60s or 70s. They had a kicker.
I have no idea. All I do know is if dreaming about sports greatness was like a sport, my dad would have had Olympic gold medals in that.
Yeah,
he loved projecting, like watching movies. Like, yeah, man.
My dad will still. He just did it. He always hits me with the looks like me before I hurt my knee. I posted the fucking Hurts' run, not this past weekend, the weekend before when he ran it like 20-yarder, then like dunked it in, fucking sick run. And I posted that, and immediately he's like, looks like me before I hurt my knee. I'm like, it's like 30 years we're going with this. You never hurt your knee. You just put on 200 pounds. That hurt your knee. He still, to this day, claims he dunked. He used to dunk. He said he claims he dunked on Stedman. Oprah's husband. I swear to God.
Dunked on
Just from Middle Township. So they used to play in the CYO league and fucking.
Dude, that is the best claim in the world.
He's like, why don't you ask Oprah's husband? I was like, why? Like, when the fuck?
Ask Oprah's husband.
Dude, he will use that. He has used that in the past.
That's the best.
And
yeah, I remember you saying that before, and it's still one of the funniest things. Just having.
Like I remember,
dude.
Marty was like, my brother was like yelling at him, like, dude, all right, let's just cut the shit. You never dunked. You were this height when you were 17. You have not grown vertical, horizontal. You've gone out there. You could on like 9 inches. But you never dunked. He's like, why don't you ask Oprah's husband? He's like, when will I see Oprah? It's like, you know what? Let me just give a call to Stedman. Steady.
Dude, it'd be funny if your dad had his numbers. Like, I'm going to fucking settle this.
Dude, what if
right
there's this
now.
video of him just like Jordan? I'm like, oh my God.
He's like hanging on the fucking rim and his nuts are in Stedman's face. He's like,
dude.
You fucking see that?
My dad loved the. I told him to watch the Lakers dynasty.
Oh yeah.
He loved it because it's like there's parts of it like especially when the Lakers played the Sixers and Dr. J was the man. Like that team ruled. My dad loved them. He loves talking about Darryl Dawkins. He loves it.
Man,
he also
fucking
thinks
backboard master.
He also thinks he's the only one that knows all of his nicknames and his claim of where he's Chocolate Thunder from Planet Lovetron. He's like, you know where he's from? Planet Lovetron. I'm like, everyone knows that. He's like, all right. Chocolate Thunder. I'm like, that's his nickname. What are you talking about? Insane. It's insane, dude. It's so funny.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, dude. And like the one part Dr. J's talking about, like, he goes, I come from a generation of the NBA. Like, if you didn't play, somebody came in and took your fucking job. And that was like kind of a shot at like, LeBron always goes out for like 6 years when he hurts his pinky toe or something. Like,
Yeah.
But it's like that old guy mentality of like.
It's a hustle. It's a hustle game.
And dude, he was talking about it. I knew he was going to reference, but I know he was watching it just like, that's right. Like no one in the room. And it's like, he loves hearing that. Like, dude, we watched a documentary on, it was just like the 60s, NFL. And like when all the teams came together. And it's like, fucking, what's his name's on it? Buckus and fucking.
Oh, yeah.
He goes nuts. He's like, he would hammer you through the fucking wall. And I'm like, I didn't even say I would hit. What are you talking about?
He'll kill you, bro.
Crybaby goons today, dude. Give me Buckus. I'm like, what are you talking about? No one's challenging this.
He's like making a sandwich. He's like, give me Buckus.
Dude, and God forbid you bring up any of like the CTE stuff and be like, what was that guy's name? It was the center for the Steelers. And I was
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
And my dad will say his name. It'll take 9 seconds for him to say the guy's name because he's got to be like Jack Mitchell, fucking. But then he goes on to name the entire Steel Curtain, the coaching staff.
He's gotta.
Yeah, dude.
That shit is ingrained where you can't.
Oh.
It's like saying someone's name. You have to say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or you didn't say it at all.
It's like Slops.
Slops Junior Queefenstien.
Slops Lawrence McQueefenstien. Dude.
But yeah, I watched that fucking Nolan documentary on Nolan Ryan.
No, that was great.
Fucking awesome.
It was great. Yeah, you like that, did you?
Dude.
I didn't know you watched
So
that.
here's the thing. I'm not a big sports dude, but
Yeah.
I love sports documentaries and movies. Like someone asked me what my favorite baseball team ever was. I was like, the 1993 Major League Cleveland Indians. I was like, they fucking killed it.
1993 baseball teams.
Maybe you saw Richie Wild Thing Vaughn out on the mound. I don't know.
How good was W in that?
Dude, so good.
W rules. I mean,
It is-
Southern guys, old Southern athletes are the best ever.
They're the
They are
I think
so fucking funny.
I also thought it was amazing that Nolan Ryan was known. Like, it's got to be crazy to be like, oh, what? That guy's got a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's like, yeah, sometimes I just throw it at people's heads.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was his thing. Everyone knew that.
What?
But, yeah, if you crowded the plate, you
Oh,
was
man.
lights out.
The other thing, fucking, what the fuck was his name? And I was like, this is why I watch these fucking things. I was like, that is an amazing, and I never heard about it. And I was like, that's an amazing fucking just story. The dude who went to the plate with the fucking table leg. I can't remember the dude's name, but apparently Ryan was like striking everybody out. And this is like one of the first times he was, fucking Christ. I can't remember if he was on the Mets or not, but like he was just killing it. So, and no one could get a hit, and everyone was afraid about crowding the plate because they would throw it at your fucking head. So the dude came out with a fucking table leg that he broke off from the fucking like clubhouse and came to the plate with a table leg. The ump's like,
Norm Cash.
yeah, he's like, you can't use this. Like, how the fuck else am I supposed to hit this fucking ball? I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah, Storm and Norman.
Coming to the plate with a fucking not a foreign object to hit a baseball. I was like, that is the shit.
Good. His fucking ears must be burned. I just got a voicemail from my dad.
Oh,
I'm
man.
terrified.
I bet it's so good.
Let me just hear if it's good enough to play on here.
But the fucking just knowing that there was a dude who was incapacitated by like, it's like, I can't go up there swinging a stupid bat. I got to get a fucking piece of wood. It's like, that is amazing. That's the best part.
It's also crazy to look at, like, and you might not appreciate it because you're not a big sports guy, but the dudes that Nolan Ryan was like going after, it's like,
oh, man.
it's like George Brett. It's like these. I mean, it was funny that the one person that really cracked was a pussy from the White Sox who got his ass whooped, which was Ronnie Ventura.
It was that was also fun. But that was also a crazy thing is that Nolan Ryan did that in his 40s. He didn't do that
that was towards the end.
And now that's also the most amazing thing too, is that he is one of the only athletes to go into partial retirement, come out of retirement, and then do better than he did in his prime, which is also fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that is interesting and amazing. Just like a dude's like, yeah, I'm the best fucking pitcher you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's like, dude, when you got fucking Charlie Hustle scared of you because he's like, I fucking hate it batting against him.
Fucking Ken Griffey Jr. terrified. Fucking God damn it, Cal Ripken Jr. and Cal Ripken, both of them, just fucking.
Yeah, I think Cal Ripken Jr. and Nolan didn't have. I don't think they liked each other.
No.
Too much. There was a lot of people because it was like he'd be like, if you crowd my plate, I am gonna back you up. And people were like, dude, I wasn't even in the box yet. I'm still in the dugout. And you're
He's
throwing
getting out of the
headers at
car.
me.
He's like, I don't know where.
He's getting out in the parking lot. It's like, fuck you. It's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that?
Nolan Ryan throwing anything at you is like, that's like the best thing in the world. And then finding out again, he won the World Series, won, and then when I didn't know this either. I thought when you win the World Series, you do get a bonus, but I thought if you win, you're kind of like set until you play next year. I thought like you were kind of like set like financially.
Oh.
And then he's like, no, when you don't play, you do not get paid. So he had to work for like heating and air conditioning.
Yeah.
And it's like
then,
that. That's amazing that he's just like, yeah, I won the World Series. And also, you've got a lot of leaves in this gutter. You are not going to be able to get proper airflow through here. You don't understand. It's like this is clogging the whole fan.
You may know me from winning the World Series. Also, how's your HVAC?
First off, your pipes are clogged full of shit.
Dude,
Gotta snake them out of there.
I think wasn't he the first $1 million?
Yes, he was the first $1 million fucking contracted athlete.
Was it athlete?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the first athlete to contract $1 million, which is again amazing. Knowing that like you now have all this money, but you also have to deliver. Like you can't just be like this guy who's like, oh fuck, well I got all this money, I can just kind of slack off. And Noel Ryan's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I have to keep throwing as hard as I possibly can.
Dude.
And knowing that you have a curveball that goes over 80 is that's
his thing
just
dropped off the face of the
fucking
earth.
crazy.
Dude, it would drop like 10 feet. It would like go down in the ground. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, and then hearing the people describe the sound that the fastball makes is also interesting and terrifying. Like having like several guys, and they're all saying the same thing. It's like when people see like an alien, like, yeah, it had this like bulbous head and it had big eyes and gray. It's like everyone's describing the same way, so you have to believe it. Every one of them was like, yeah, it was like, he's like, yeah, I was very scared of like the whole ball.
I was waiting for Randy Johnson to come on there and be like, yeah, but did he kill a bird?
Dude, that's another thing. I was waiting to see something like crazy like that, but having him being hit in the face by Bo Jackson's grounder is fucking awesome too.
Yeah, striking Bo out. That would have been terrifying. I would have apologized.
I mean,
remember Bo just breaking it over his neck?
Dude, that's another
like
thing
too.
too.
Dude, he'd break it over his knee or his neck. And obviously most athletes or anybody fit could do, but Bo did it like it was a fucking chopstick. He was like, God
yeah,
damn.
it was effortless.
Like,
watching that, who the fuck was the guy who tried to break it over his knee and he fucked up his whole thigh?
A couple of people have done that.
He was like, yeah, I tried doing it and I fucked my femur up. It's like, yeah, dude.
Dude, speaking of fucking people that can queef on command.
Oh, yeah, your SDR show.
Since we're talking about Nolan Ryan.
Dude.
Little known fact about Nolan. He's like,
huge queefer.
Dude, it was,
I gotta
tell you something. Danny was there. And dude, I'm going to text Bobby today.
Let me just say, when I saw that, immediately I was like, well, I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have proposed.
Oh, yeah. This girl.
I would have immediately been like, well, I guess I
thought she was either related to you or I was like, can you call this kid? Because I will not be able to sleep at night.
I saw it, I was like, oh. And then I saw her fucking doing the rootin' tootin'.
Dude, let me tell you something. I was just saying, I'm going to text Bobby because there is footage after the SDR show. When the show's over, it's me and Butterly sitting in the studio. And I'm almost positive we're still recording. We were in there for what? Like, not long, like maybe 3-4 minutes. Just like, what the fuck was that? And all joking aside, that bitch was terrifying, dude. Like, here's the thing. Not the queefs. Disgusting. That was like the most like kooky thing about her.
Yeah? What was the other stuff?
The thing was her lifestyle of like just telling us, and Justin Silver called me the next day and was like, holy shit. Like, just laughing, but he was also like, what the fuck was that? Because this is what we were talking about on the ride home that night, me, Butterly, and Danny, which was like, we know people like that exist in the world, right? Sure. But the only time you think you're ever going to have an interaction with someone like that is like watching someone portray a character in a movie.
Sure.
You never think you're going to meet him. And this wasn't like for the show. She wasn't like, oh, I'm so crazy. I did that. No, this girl's, she brought her cousin who she's currently sleeping with. First cousin, it's a girl. Disgusting.
Awesome.
Talk about a slops fucking Queefenstien.
Oh,
dude.
yeah?
This might be her. This might be Mrs. Slops, dude. So she was a nice person, but also like, do you know what it reminded me of? You ever seen the movie Bully?
Yes.
Any Larry Clark movie, this bitch, there's going to be a movie about, she's going to be involved with a murder.
Yeah.
Just raw, like.
It is crazy when you meet those chicks.
Like at first, we're dying laughing. Bartley's crushing. We're just like me, Jay, and Tim. Ralph was out of town, so I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Shout out, Ralph. But like, no, but like, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's too many people in there.
Yeah.
But like, for this, it was crazy. And then it's like, she starts talking like, yeah, my family won't, let me come to Thanksgiving. It's like, why? It's like, well, my grandma found out I was masturbating with a crucifix in the church. I was like,
look. I'm not saying she didn't do that. I'm just saying that's
there's video.
far.
She has video. There's video.
I mean,
it's right on.
Now, was it a real crucifix or was it one of those dill?
Not anymore. No, it was off the wall. I think it was St. Pete's.
Man.
Yeah, she grabbed like a bow staff and
That's
started going to town. Ew.
That's horny.
Dude, yeah. Well, the farting thing was just stupid. It was
No,
like,
wait, was it
that
farting or
funny.
queefing?
Queefing.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah. So it was like, it was funny because we're immature idiots. So obviously,
Of
if anybody
course.
farts, I'm going to laugh. But her documentary should be called Beyond the Toots, because once you got beyond the toots, there was some serious shit going on with this girl.
Dude, that should be in the tagline. Beyond the two.
Just her looking up at
There's
the
some
sky.
serious shit going on.
I didn't even think about
That's pretty fucking good, dude.
that. Yeah, that's what her bio is going to be. Her YouTube documentary.
Beyond the toots.
Yeah, it was just like the way she was talking is like, and she was from like,
So wait, so she's a cousin fucker,
yeah,
masturbated with a crucifix in a church.
she
Was
has
it?
3 kids from 3 different dudes.
Oh, she's got kids.
3.
That's where.
Let me tell you something. When the skirt comes up, you know where they came out of, dude. It looked like the thing that ate the fucking bounty hunter in Star Wars.
Oh, it was a sarlacc.
the Sarlacc queefed. It's a dead ringer.
Damn, that pussy had teeth.
No, I mean, yeah, kind of. I don't know. It was rough, dude.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. We had a blast.
I bet it
But
was great. I
when
bet
it was
overall, I bet she was a nice person.
not real. I mean, she was. Put it like this: she wasn't.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Danny gets it. It's tough to explain it to anyone else.
That
serious.
was the best.
I hate to say it because I hate saying this, but you really did have to be there, or at least watch the episode. Because if you watch the episode,
Sure.
you'll see what I mean. But there's going to be parts that if you watch it, I hope they got it. Me and Butterly are just stone faced staring at this girl while she talks, and it's like, this is your life. Like you're going to kill someone. You're going to be
Yeah.
involved with a murder, or you're going to get murdered. Something like that.
I mean, there's only a timeline for like certain people like that. Like,
oh,
you know,
she's got 3 years. She'll be dead.
I mean, we all met people. I knew a guy, Andrew, growing up, who I knew, and he is dead. He's dead now. But like, you knew.
Did you have something to do with it? He's dead. He's dead now. Don't ask. I'm like, all right.
You all know when you meet these kids, you're like, even at like an early elementary age,
Oh,
like this guy
absolutely. I
is
think
not
everyone.
gonna make it.
Yeah.
Like he's
Some
just
girls,
not
too.
gone. Oh yes, some of the chicks, like those, like that chick. How old is she?
Not that old. I mean, maybe like 30.
Oh, she's past life expectancy.
Yeah.
That's like
yeah, she's like Madison, Wisconsin 30.
Oh,
So she's like 88.
So yeah, she's on the
She
downswing.
flew from Madison, Wisconsin that day.
just to queef.
We were driving up. I texted Jay. I said, hey, we're going to be up there to do the Gas Me Anything. We were going to go over to the stand to do spots on Karen's show.
Yeah.
But then I texted Jay and said, yo, we'll do SDR because we knew Ralph was going to be there. And he goes, yeah, come up. We'll just bullshit. And I'll get like a porn chick or something. And I was like, or we could just have a delightful conversation.
Yeah, or we could just have fun.
But then he booked that girl. She flew from Madison, Wisconsin, like hours before the show to New York. Yeah, to do that. And she was like, I'm so nervous. I've never been on like a big show like this. I was like, well, good thing is this isn't a big.
Yeah, I was like, lucky for you.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
But
a big queef break. That's fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's going to reach an audience of tens of thousands of people.
I mean, she has like 1 million followers on. on TikTok.
What's her name?
Lily Vig.
Lily Vig,
Mm-hmm.
the queef queen.
Yeah, it's you know what? Dude, that's what it was. The resemblance to a Manson girl. Like, remember when the Manson girls are walking, all 3 of them holding hands? That's her. Would you just... Right. Oh, yeah. Say that again slower.
Sorry, as soon as I did that, I was like, that was not the right reaction.
Take it easy, Tex.
I'm sorry.
I know what that's about.
I was like, yes,
Go on.
women who will
But she
kill.
does, dude, she gives off a very she looks and gives off a very strong
Yeah.
Manson girl vibe. And she definitely looks like she'd stab a pregnant chick.
And that is like, I'm not saying that's a turn on. What I'm saying is it always ends up fucking me. For real. It's like, because, the type of women I'm attracted to, I'm like, oh, that's hot. But it's
Yeah.
like hot in that 10-minute time frame. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck. But my head is like, I could make that work
Dude.
for a while,
dude.
And that's the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
The toots would get old. Like if I'm just sitting there watching football.
But they would get old, but then they wouldn't. Like, it would be if you got well timed with your toots.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
If she's like tapping her forehead, it's like her body is just
a fucking.
slops.
It's musical, dude.
Yeah, like I bet you the last kid, maybe in the last 2 kids, just fell out.
But that's it. See, that's the thing too. Is like
you heard it, and then a kid came out.
You'd have to. That would be crazy. If she gave birth on the SDR.
She seems. I mean, dude, I wouldn't have been.
That's a good show.
Her fucking cousin looked like she had a couple in the chamber.
Wait, how the cousin was not great looking?
No, she's disgusting. She's huge. She looks like fucking Buckus.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's a big gal.
Dick
and
Conkus.
they do each other a lot.
Damn, dude, a lot. What's a lot?
Like they do a lot of sex stuff together. She was like plugging her OnlyFans, and I was like, "You have to be your OnlyFans."
The bigger one was plugging her OnlyFans. Well, see, that's
her claim to fame is being this girl's cousin.
First off, OnlyFans is kind of like, again, I debated starting one again, and the reason I
don't know why you don't.
Well, the reason I don't is because I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
It's hilarious.
But then I found out that someone that I know made over 14 grand doing nothing.
Dude.
Nothing. And the OnlyFans is like, it's a free sign up, but then she got like more like but she's not doing anything. Keep in mind, she's not doing anything.
Was she just
She's just kind of like talking. And
yeah, a lot of
they
people
don't
do
get
that.
naked. And it's just like
a lot of the people that do the girls that do OnlyFans don't go nude.
That is wild.
Let me tell you something. You get on there and start stroking out for the weirdos. I guarantee you get in 5 figures.
Dude, I know I would. And that's the whole
matter.
thing.
You're
Is like
gonna find it.
Dude, I thought about becoming, Slops Queefenstien on.
If that was your name and you just beat off like watching Platoon or something, dude. I'm telling you right now, dude. You'll get some fucking views. I'll tell you that.
See that cum come out of there?
Just be like, just stare at the camera.
That's how they come.
I'm telling you.
I know. I just, when I heard that about the OnlyFans thing, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. It's like, that is.
You should paint with your wiener.
No, see, there's already a guy who does that. See, the whole thing with
Is he good though?
Yeah, dude, he's really good.
What's he using? Charcoal?
He's using them oil, dude.
Oh.
He's using the expensive stuff, and he does portraits, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
They are, like, legitimately good. It's one thing, like, if you paint with your wiener.
First thing you want to do.
Look, if you're painting with your wiener, you got to be, like, anybody can paint you could paint a smiley face with your wiener easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I get
So
there.
could Danny.
Yeah.
Anybody could. But, like, if you're not famous, that doesn't matter. Like, if Tom Cruise painted a smiley face with his wiener on OnlyFans, he's selling it for thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
but if
it's
you're
like a stick figure,
exactly. But it's Tom Cruise. But if you're just a nobody painting a smiley face with your wiener, nobody gives a fuck. But if you're a nobody painting with your wiener and you're doing really good work,
what's he doing? Like Starry Night,
dude.
He's doing like Van Gogh.
I'll send you the link. It's fucking
Boner
crazy,
Lisa,
dude.
dude.
He paints with his big dumb weird. He's got a big weird dick.
See, that's
too.
the other thing is you don't. I mean, that's a good angle for him, obviously, because he has that talent of being able to paint like well with his huger. But if you're just on there stroking off, not even showing your face, there is plenty
That's
of people
where I
that
also
will pay to watch
I
you
know.
do that. And dude, it might not be a long term thing, but I would bet you make at least 10 grand. You get to it at least, like the most you make. I bet you make 10 grand in a month. I guarantee it, dude.
I mean,
you have no
I'm
idea
not-
how dude. OnlyFans is massive.
I know it's massive, but then again, it's also I think about because I've
I
mentioned
hope you make no money. That'd be so funny.
that's my
Dude,
fear
you
too.
did like
That's
2
my
guys.
fear too. Is like going like, and here's my wiener. Nobody wants
All
it.
right, well,
Just
yeah,
like,
hold on. We're gonna switch to Patreon, but we're gonna continue talking about this.
I'm just
Also,
saying.
it's crazy to think because I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but did you see Hinckley's now selling shirts that say John Hinckley
for president, and I retweeted
What a
it.
piece of
Dude,
shit.
I think that is an amazing
yeah,
fucking.
I want
I think
that
that's.
shirt.
I want it so bad.
Dude, if you wore that shirt and jerked off on OnlyFans. All right, let's go to Patreon.
That's what I want.